Hello. Sunday, the 1st of August 2021. The pandemic is kind of coming to an end. And what does it mean? I'm fishing. Second barrow load, that was the first load. Just put a little tarp over it, started to rain earlier. There's the other barrow load. Where are we? Down at the water park. I'm in swim 15, the bird cage. It's the shallow side of the lake. I've never fished it before. I don't know what the bottom's like. I don't know anything about it. All I know is Nick in the shop there when I tipped up. Lee's fishing next door in 16. I don't know what that's called. But Nick said bloke last weekend had a few out. I thought, right, best get in there then. So I've still got a few bits of gear down in the truck still. Box of beers and 2 buckets of bait. So but I think what I'll do is I'll get home set up and get to it. Feels good. I'm really excited. Don't know what the outcome's going to be. But yeah, I'll chat to you in a bit. Right. Sort that out. 7:20 at night. And I finally got all 3 rods in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. It's been a battle today. I've literally had to reteach myself how to cast, how to spom, how to even tie rigs. I mean, I really came underprepared this time. I really did. But I'm out now. Shoulder's cooking some dinner, which is nice. Let's get this camera straight. Shoulder's cooking some dinner down in the swim next to me. He's all the way just down now. But let me tell you where I got the rods. Right, so the left hand rod, be really quiet. It's literally there. Bosh. And that's on a little tiny white pop-up. That Nash flavour. Literally, I don't know where they've come from, but I've bought every type of bloody pop-up, including high vises and balance baits, balance wafters, in that new flavour, whatever it is. I can't remember buying them. I don't even know if it's any good. Oh, Link. Literally every type of pop-up and all that. Well, I ain't got none of the bottom baits anyway. Still got some stuff left over from Crystal. Where's my middle rod? Right. So that swim over there, it's in line with that. But yeah. I mean, it's 10.5 wraps out. And it is, you know, pure gravel on there. It's a nice clean bit of bed. And what have I got on that? I have got that's a double 18mm balanced wafter sitting on that one. And then my right hand rod, you see that patch of weed all there? I'm just off of that at 15 wraps, and I've got 4 bits of maize bottom bait, and I've used one of the Nash claw hooks on that bad boy. A little bit of silicone. I watched the Terry Hearn video, and I know he didn't say use the claw hook, but I found some of them in my tackle bag. I can't remember buying half this stuff. It is freaking me out. So I do remember buying the barra. We'll talk about that later. But another thing I don't remember doing is I opened up my rod bag, and there was a bit of plastic surrounding one of the tip sections of my rods. I can't remember buying a new tip section, but it was sealed plastic, and I must have. So mental. Anyway, there she is. There's home. Looking a bit messy on camera, but there we have it. Got the old doormats all set up. Oh, hello. What's that doormat there? Is that a little cheeky one from Crystal? Got the old moon chair set up. Look how big the bivvy is. Bed chair and moon chair in there. Still loads of space. Pretty decent. Right, listen. I can hear Shoulder literally panicking. I think he's probably set the place on fire. I said to myself, I'm gonna promise Bill, promise that you're gonna be blogging every single time you can, and I will be. it was just this setup. I just needed to get the rods out. You guys know what it's like. You know what it's like. You just want to get set up and get your rods out, and then you can start talking. Yeah. So hopefully we'll have something tonight. I hope it's not a bream, but you know, a bream would be nice. Now look at that. That's what I'm talking about, a little pidge flying over. I'm meant to be shooting now in a big way, so I've got to relearn how to fish, relearn how to balance my time between shooting and fishing, and enjoy them both, and not empty the bank account with new guns. Hey? Alright mate, coming very shortly. I'll bring the beers down. Right, I best get these rods in then and go and have a bit of grub. Look at this, ladies and gents. He's missed me that much. He's giving me a slap up steak dinner. Look at that.
Hot peppers.
Oh my god, yeah, look at them. Bloody hell, mate. What has lockdown done to you? You're normally a pot noodle man, ain't you?
Oh, fuck yeah. There you go, mate.
I'm impressed, mate. Thank you so much. Look at that barbie, mate. It's quality, that, isn't it?
Not bad, is it?
Is that like a camping one or is that a fishing one?
Hey?
Is it like a dedicated camping stroke fishing one or what?
Like a barbecue, Tesco's.
Oh. Nice answer. Cheers, mate. I know didn't Nash bring out a barbie at some point?
Fuck knows.
Oh. Right. Look at that, everyone. What a treat. Right, I'm going to eat it. I'll get back to you. Look at that. It's 9 o'clock. How beautiful is that? I have missed it. I mean, look at the sky. Absolutely stunning. Rods are back out now for the night. I think I might put a little bit more bait in, maybe. Yeah, why not? Let's put a little bit more out. What am I going to go with? A little bit of sweet corn in the margin. A bit of cheeky frozen sweet corn. Where's my rat bag? I'll put some boilie out as well, you know. If I can find it, where the bloody hell's that gone? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So, in fact, I'm just silhouetted here. Here's my little rat bag. The rats are pretty bad here at Suffolk Water Park. Just seen a huge one a minute ago. Not for you, though. And of course the seagulls have started coming in. They are relentless. They were nowhere to be seen until they heard the splash of a boilie. Well, we're fishing. I know I'm just a silhouette, but 3 rods are out tonight. And because it's day one, confidence is high. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a different opinion, but that's it. And what I'll try and do tonight, I think, is just have a little chat, tell you where I'm at, tell you what I'm doing, what I've been up to, why the blog's stopped for a long time. Maybe what spurred me on to get back to doing the blogs, I don't know. Lots to talk about, and of course it's good to be back here with my old mate Shoulder as well. I haven't seen him for 2 years since the whole COVID thing struck. Last time I saw him was at Crystal Waters, and I was just saying to him just then, I'm absolutely gutted that I never blocked Crystal. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, I had my PB 56.4 I think it was. Oh, stunning fish. And I got top rod. Absolutely, well I say smashed it, I had 6 fish and that got me top rod. So really happy with that. But anyway, right, I'm just going to sort out the rest of my kit because my bivvy is a little bit messy. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, I'll put this mega torch on. Bosh. So you see it's a little bit messy at the minute. That cash there is what I owe for Shoulder paid for me. The other week we had to book the swim. So I have to pay him back. I'm going to spray myself up with a little bit more mozzie repellent in a minute I think, because I'm getting bit to death. But tomorrow I think is going to be the big day when I do most of the blog. I'm going to talk about some tackle that I didn't even know I bought, some things that I didn't even know I'd changed. There's just, it's almost like I'm learning all over again. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the journey. Right, I'll speak to you in a bit. Oh man, absolute nightmare. Just what's the time? 9:30 now. So I've had some, since I went to bed last night, 1 o'clock in the morning, that margin rod screamed off. I hooked into something, I don't know what it was, I don't think it was a carp, but then it came off, pinged off, got caught in that tree as it's pinged off, right? So I had to deal with that at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then, all throughout the night, literally like on the hour, I was getting like double beeps maybe, or a single beep or something on whatever rods. This morning, just now, bloody Cygnet's just picked up the margin again and got hooked in its beak. Oh my god. There for about, I don't know, it weren't long, like 10 minutes, mate. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I phoned up Shoulder, I said, get round here. Get round here. I don't know, my plan was to kind of get it with a net and then try and take it out, while he sort of like kept the mum and dad away, I don't know. Luckily, the hook came out. Scary for a bit though. Anyway, yesterday when I got here, I thought to myself, oh no, I haven't checked if I've got any fuel. But I've surprised myself, to be honest with you. I did buy a gas canister in the shop, but I've surprised myself, to be honest with you. I've been pretty bloody switched on. Petrol in there, I've got a spare gas in there. Oh, I do surprise myself sometimes. Anyway, now the thing with this Primus stove is, if any of you are interested, it comes with, see them little bolts, there's one that I haven't used and one that I have used. It comes with them, and that you get 3 of them. And of course, look, I don't know if you can see that, it says LPG, petrol fuel and then other. So, what have I got? The thing is, I can't remember the bloody last time I used it. Did I use it with this? Why have I put a gas canister in there? Let's have a look. Well, that's 3, so it's not other. And that's 2. So yeah, there we go. Look, last time I used it with gas. Bloody hell! Lucky I checked. Lucky I bought the gas, I suppose, isn't it? We've got that little one. That wouldn't have done us this morning. The coffee, and 2 breakfasts. One for me, one for Shoulder. windshield as well, didn't I? Lots of lighters. That's good news. Oh. Nice. Right then, what do we do first? Let's make some coffee. Look at that, look, honestly, I surprise myself sometimes. There's another little gas stored in the kettle. Oh man, I really have been doubting myself of how switched on I am, but yesterday I just chucked the bed, which I haven't slept in for over 2 years, in the back of the motor. I got here and I went, oh god, I hope that no mice and that have gone in there, or I didn't leave it with some fucking rubbish in there or something like that. And I opened up the bed. I'd only washed and folded the bloody with the Nash bed. You get the bed, it's attached, the blankets attached to it. I'd only washed and folded it and packed it up all nice and neatly, and I must have sprayed it, the mattress and that down with Febreze and whatever. It smelled amazing. Right, we'll get that on the go. It'll give me time to prep the food. Now I did notice in a couple of my videos that when that's on, that's all you can really hear. So all I'm going to do now is just let the footage roll and let off out my shield. Right, I can't be that switched on because I don't know where I've put my spatula, so I won't be able to do any eggs. Not good. I've shown this before. I think this is a good bit of kit. Stanley coffee press. And what you can do, you can make quite a large bit of coffee in there. Keeps it nice and warm, and then put the coffee in there, water in there, press it down. Laughing. Make some fresh coffee for me and mate. Take your time when you're pressing it down. See, a lot of people just want it to plunge it straight through. But you've got to get that crema on top. Baristas say that that's the heart of the coffee, a nice crema. And I was watching something about coffee before, and they said, I think it's Turkish coffee, a certain way they do it. If you don't get a crema on top, they have to throw the whole lot away and remake it. What have we got today? Today we've got Coffee Masters, and it is a flavoured one. My favourite, creme brulee. It's my favourite afters. So just pushing this down, basically like a French press. Nice and slow. You might notice in the background I've got one of the rods up. That's the one in the margin, and because it keeps getting taken out by bird life, I've just left it out for the minute. I'm going to probably just put a bag on it maybe and pub chuck it. Go. As you can see, put the crema in there. Nice, nice. Put this lid on just to keep it nice and warm. Now let's get started. Where have I put that spatula? I know I picked it up. I know I did. It's not in any of the food bags. Oh well. Just going to give these a wipe just before I start cooking. Unfortunately, even though it looks clean and I am pretty switched on, you don't know what's crawled over it in your garage, do you? So when I get back from fishing, what I normally do is stick everything in a dishwasher that I've used and then pack it away. Right, let's see what kind of a breakfast we can make from this. Venison sausages.
Brown sauce,
Yeah,
smart sauce,
yeah,
Worcester sauce.
no. Only a little bit of red sauce, so that's all I can. Susanna let me take that to cover. Right, we got to the end of our cooking journey. Kettle's going back on. Top plate up. One egg or two eggs, mate?
What's that one, please, mate?
So we got eggs with no spatula. Bacon. Venison sausages. And mushes. And not forgetting the beans.
Right out the food page, I've done it, please.
But yeah.
That's nice, mate.
Yeah, enough.
That's superb, mate. Cheers.
Okay, mate, that'll
Cheers,
get
pal.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
that.
You'd send it back.
That'd be lovely, mate.
Sauce down there, mate.
Superb. Good. Still don't, is it?
Yeah, I got it out of my cupboard. Weren't left in the garage.
That's superb.
There we go, breakfast on the bank.
Should put a fucking chair in, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Sit there, sit on that. That'll hold your weight. Just wait for that kettle to boil and then put some more coffee on.
Fucking superb.
what you get when you cook me steak, mate. I best turn the radio off because YouTube will sting me. Right, let's try these sausages. They're alright, are they? Oh yeah. So, Lee had nothing last night either. Not a knock. Just some fishermen moved in over at Black Hole. Which don't affect us too much, to be honest with you. They're literally only fishing off the bank. I think they're like just pleasure anglers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Bloke who was in a swim next to Lee yesterday moved out this morning. Another geezer's already moved in. I was woken up quite a few times last night with, you know, various single beats, double beats, stuff like that. The main one being at 1 o'clock this morning, or 10 to 1, and that left hand rod just started going crazy, went into meltdown. Didn't sound like a carp bite, you know, like an actual run. It was just a series of knocks and then I hooked into something, so I'm not too bothered that I lost it. I reckon it might have been a nuisance fish. But I'm going to leave that one out of the margin for today, and I'll bait the margin, but I'll leave it out of the margin today because everything's just smashing it. Because we're around the shallow side, all the bird life can see what's going on or what's on the bottom. And that cygnet this morning, just poor thing. You know, it thought it was getting a bit of food, but in fact it was getting a size 10 curve shank in its beak.
Yeah, now we're having it for breakfast.
Yeah. Cygnet steaks. Yeah, I couldn't find my spatula in the end, but the eggs worked out alright, didn't they?
Cracking, mate. They put your fucking bivvy up.
Oh. Yeah. They're struggling with a bit of doing that. Yeah, they are struggling with it.
Good, but that'll fuck off.
bivvy or is it a brolly? No, it looks like from here. You know the what do they call it? A skull cap on top of one of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's taken two of them to put that fucker up. I don't think they put it up before, do you?
No.
So that's the one thing that I remembered yesterday, how to do properly, first time, was put this bivvy up.
Fucking bag in, mate. Ain't you?
You happy with that, mate?
Yeah, it's fucking superb.
Whites there if you want to use the whites.
Salt pepper would be nice. Bradley Packfield.
No. I say, day before, Suzanne goes, come on, let's go shopping for your food for fishing.
Yeah.
I went, alright. I said, I don't really need to. I said, we've got stuff in the cupboard, you know, pot noodles and pastas and stuff like that. She went, no, come on, let's go and get you some proper grub. I went, alright. And as we're going around the shop, she was like, well, you need these, you need these, you need these. Like, yeah. Needless that you know that you were going to cook me a steak last night.
Got a bin round here, mate.
With a bag, just
chuck it in your bivvy.
Just on the pillow. If you wipe it on the pillow,
Yeah,
it'll
okay,
be,
mate, that's no worries.
You struggling there, mate?
Sorry?
Struggling?
What the fuck is that?
It's a fucking bin bag, mate.
Fucking elephant's condom, innit? Jesus fucking Christ. You dropped all your shit off in my swim, you got that fucking thing?
Mate, that's what you get.
Hell. Fuck. It's right, there's a proper fucking plates.
So I went in my cook bag yesterday. You know, where all your plates and your pots and pans are, I might have got fishing. It was, I can't remember buying it, but it was this like knockoff Ridge Monkey toast stuff, little sandwich maker thing.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm sure I used to have a Ridge Monkey. Sure I did. Anyway, I thought, right, I must have sold it or something, I don't know. I looked in the cupboard, the pots and pans. I remember we use it in the kitchen now. Cook a steak. I thought, I can't take that with me if Suzanne's going to use it. They're good, them Ridge Monkeys, isn't they?
Yeah, they are, mate.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got bivvy up over there now, look.
Yeah, this is what the possible was.
Unless that's more than two family.
There's 4 of them over there.
5 of them, weren't there? A minute ago. There's a young lad helping them put the bivvy up.
Young lads, he's in his fucking days. They're fucking cool, though.
Yeah, but compared to them,
Oh, yeah.
with that. Happy with that, mate. Do you want to have a coffee, mate?
All right, mate.
I'll do it. I'll do it. You'll get a better than a quarter cup, mate, this time. I'll try anyway. You know how we used to do it before?
What, with a fucking teaspoon?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, percolator.
Yeah. I'll do that on yours. Because I'm a nice guy.
I'll back to a second. I'm going to check the was.
Alright, mate. So, the Stanley coffee press is gleaming for 1 cup of coffee. But when your guest mug is actually a massive mug, someone got me that as a Christmas present. I can't remember who it was. I love it. It's a lovely one of them enamel tin mugs. Got all the different fish around there just to remind me what a fish looks like. But when I poured the cups earlier, I said to Lee, "Do you want a cup, mate?" Yeah, yeah. Literally, I had like a third of a cup, and Lee had. It looked like I'd sort of like drunk most of it and handed it out. So, what we're going to do is 2 different variations. First one being the drip, and the second one being I'll use the Stanley. Your love just won't wait. So I was going back through all my videos before, and I was noticing that pretty much the majority of them have been not copyrighted, but copyright violation. And I get emails and that saying your video's copyright violation and stuff like that. And I look back through them, and the majority of them it's because I've got the radio on in the background. And when a song comes on, bloody Google picks it up, and it puts a copyright thing on my on the video. I mean, you know as well as I do. When I first started these, I used to have the Baywatch theme tune, and then I went to Beverly Hills 90210. So that's why I stopped that. Paid a little bit of money to get the new intro done. I hope you like it. I hope you like the new intro. A lot of people were saying that it's too long and that. I get it. I paid for it, you know what I mean? I ain't changing it. Oh, look at that crema. Joking, I just bloody filled that fucker up. putting the kettle on again. Even the kettle's too small for that massive mug. Big Sports Direct mug, that fucker, isn't it? She's dripping through now, mate. Bearing in mind that's been in a Swan's beak, it's not a set arrow on it. Go on, what are you saying? You fucking dick. Side. The actual makeup.
Size of it.
Right, okay. Whew! Wet bag on it? No, it's just down the margin. I did have a white. Oh yeah, that's it. Got I was thinking yesterday, you know, I keep going on that I can't remember buying stuff.
Yeah.
So I must have just put ultimate faith in this flavour. Link.
Yeah.
I mean, has that come and gone? Was it successful?
Anything's successful, mate, it works.
So I think I was going on yesterday. So I went out. I can't remember doing it, but I bought Link dedicated pop-ups. I bought Link balanced wafters. I bought more Link pop-ups, different size. I bought Link fluoro pop-ups, and I've got the glug in there as well, which smells like so sweet. I can't remember buying them. Has anyone had any luck with it? Link? I mean, of course it's never gonna overtake the Cell. I wish do they still make the Fusion? Mainline Fusion?
I don't know, I don't use that stuff, do I?
Don't you?
Nah, I use proper pop-ups.
I remember when the old Corda videos first came out and he was using Fusion, and it just went ballistic. Don't know what happened there, I think the screen went off there, but anyway. Sitting on this chair, the old Nash Moon chair, and I ain't brought it along before because it's still quite big. When you pack it down, it just like squeezes in. But oh, it and half comfy. Oh, you can do whatever you want on it. Lay down in it, legs up in it. I usually bring it out at barbecues. Get my dogs up here. Let's move this camera over here. So that way you're not seeing all the rubbish on the floor. This is just a cover here. But it's the Nash Indulgence. I think it's called a moon chair. But honestly, it's so comfy. Just getting up like that, just chill out. You can wrap yourself up in it if you're a bit smaller than me. Watching the lake, chilling out. Fits in there a treat. But I had it last night. I was just sat in there in the biv, looking out at the lake, feet up on the old bed chair. Couldn't beat it. This is one thing I showed you before. It's an absolutely stunning mug. My old fishing mug, right? Look at that. So that skull there is made up of all little different bits of tackle. And it was by a company called Off the Beaten Track, OTBT. But then they had some kind of issue with their naming, so they changed it to Kumu. And they still do very similar things, but I don't think you can get this mug still. Well happy that I got it. It's a real sexy matte black gold finish. So anyway, how's everyone been? I hope you've been alright through the COVID pandemic and stuff like that. What is it now? 2nd of August. Starting to come out of it now. I hope all your families and all that are alright, and if you have lost anyone, I'm really sorry for that. I genuinely am. Throughout the pandemic I've lost someone as well. That's another story. It wasn't to COVID, but yeah, I really do feel your pain. I really, really do. But I don't know how people have you been coping with it. I wasn't doing much fishing at all, so I wasn't too bothered. The lakes were shut and stuff like that. But I did see an episode on the news once when we were allowed to fish day ticket. There was fisheries, just cars queuing out the gates. You know, people were that desperate to go fishing, and I get it. You know, I'm an angler myself. But my mate phoned me up, and he was down fishing a lake. I won't say what lake it was, but you had to book on, etc. But then he said when he got there, he set up, and of course it's, you know, you do your own thing when you're fishing. He said that there were people just like so desperate to talk to you. He said he must have had about 20 people come round his swim and how are you getting on, all the usual chat, and he was just like, get away. I mean, they weren't wearing any masks or anything, and unfortunately I think it's those naive people that don't play the game is the reason that it got so bad. I certainly do know people that were were having parties and house parties and still travelling around throughout the pandemic, and silly stuff. But I worked through the lot. Didn't have any time off. Tell a lie. I had 1 day off because of it. And when I say 1 day off, I was getting my weekends off, of course. But I worked the whole way through, and the 1 day test, and it is a horrific, for those of you that have tested, I'm sure you've done it before, it's horrific, isn't it? The back of the throat and up the nose. And when I tipped up to the testing centre, the woman said to me, she said, "Oh, do you want to do it yourself or do you want us to do it?" I said, "Well, I don't know how to do it." She went, "Oh, it's very easy." I said, "Well, look, you do it, and then next time if I need to get a test, you do it." Anyway, she said, "Okay, open your mouth then." In the back of the mouth, and I was like, I threw up. Threw up a little bit. I'm sat in the car, obviously, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm really sorry." She went, "No, it's okay." I said, "Oh, all right." She said, "But it weren't in long enough, so we've got to do it again." I was like, "Oh no." So she'd done it again. I was like, and then she said, "Right, okay, it's up the nose now." And I thought, "Oh, up the nose will be easier." Well, it ain't. No way. She went straight up there, and I was like, snotting and everything. My eyes were crying. And horrible bloody feeling. And then afterwards, she said, "All right, thanks very much." And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought, "Oh my God, you are a state." All my eyes were streaming, you know what I mean? I had all stuff hanging out of my mouth, drool hanging out of my mouth, my nose snotting. I thought, bloody hell. So anyway, yeah, that was the only scare I had throughout the whole thing. No furlough, no nothing. But then, yeah, this is still the first time I've been fishing. I had to book on here a couple of weeks back. And I don't know why I've done this. I don't know why I've chosen my Nemesis water as a lake to kind of kickstart my fishing. I mean, maybe it's the fact that if I do catch a carp here, it would light the fire, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? It really would. But nothing's happening so far. Like I say, I've only got 2 rods out. The third one, I might just pub chuck it, you know. It's all quite clear out there. I don't know about so much over the left hand side. I've still got my marker set up, so I might put the marker out and just check if that's just as clear out there. And pub chuck it, because that's only 3 foot just down in the margins. It goes out a little bit deeper out there, it's about 6 foot out there, which of course the birds can still see. I know, I get it. It's that little bit deeper. And I just felt so bad this morning for that poor little cygnet. It didn't know what was going on, you know. I'm so glad that hook come out of his beak though. God. Because when I got it close, it was either the mum or the dad, really started going nuts. Of course they're really protective. And they were trying to protect it out there. They were trying to bite the line and stuff like that. But when I had to pull it closer, because my plan was to get the net over it, get it in, put my jacket over it, and then unhook it, and hopefully Lee would be here sort of like pushing away the swans to stop them doing that. You know, I didn't want to hurt it or anything. And luckily as I got it closer, the hook came out. Has anyone managed to get out to France? We were meant to go to Abbey Lakes last year, and unfortunately it got cancelled. It got cancelled, but it still went ahead under a different name. It was a match, a week's match out there. Me and Lee were booked onto it, and the fact is we would have had to use our annual leave to do the self-isolation when you got back, or quarantine when you got back, or whatever it's called. And he couldn't do it, I couldn't do it, so we had a choice: get our money back, fish the renamed event, or roll it over to next year, which is this year. And we chose just to roll it over. However, I'm not sure it's going to go ahead this year either, because I've got a feather in my coffee. Because of the whole quarantine when you get back. In which case I'll just roll it over to the year after. We spoke about it last night, and we said if it does happen, if it doesn't happen, we'll roll it over to next year. Get off. Little coot. We'll roll it over to next year, and we'll probably come down here and do a week down here maybe. Seagull with one leg just flew past. We were chatting last night about the named fishing here at the water park, and there's loads of them. Box Common, John's Common, Pop Rib and Cluster, Clover. The list goes on, but Lee was saying to me he'd want to catch the Box Common. I think it's the Box Common, but that's the one he said he'd like to catch the most. He's caught most of them. I won't lie to you, he's caught most of them. But he ain't caught the carrot. And that is the one that I would love. I'd love to catch that carrot. It comes out once or twice a year that I know of. I mean, people might catch it and put it back and not say anything. But there's a certain time of year that it comes out. Every year. And I watch the Facebook page, you know, for that set period, bosh, and it will turn up. But it sits at, you know, upper 20s, sometimes low 30s. But it's not the size that I'd care about, it's the fact that it's the carrot. It's such a beautiful fish. Those people over on Flagpole now set up 2 bivvies. Here we go. Here we go. Go on, swim straight into that bloody line, you. Good lad. Grebe. So I caught a grebe here before, a few years back. Dived on my baits, got caught up. And they've got beaks like needles. They kept spiking us. We got it in, got a towel over it, kept trying to spike us. And it also put off this horrible scent, really horrible scent, and yeah, not nice. Anyway, my battery is flashing at me. That can't be right, can it? So if it cuts off, I'll just replace the battery. Shouldn't cut off, shouldn't be that. I haven't even done that much filming, have I? Unless I left it on. Mind you, earlier, I will edit it. There was a lot of crap going on with the cooking. Let's face it, this is about angling, not cooking and making coffee. Cheers, by the way. Oh. I'll do a little bit later about all these new little bits that I've forgotten about. New tackle, new bits and bobs. I mean, you see in the back there, carp porter. I knew I'd bought a new one, but I didn't know it was the free wheel. Bloody hell, it's good. It makes life so much easier if you're on the flat. It's just like a baby's pram with the free wheels. When you just got a single wheel or 2 wheels, you've got to lift it up. But yeah, done 3 barrel loads. Normally I'm drenched, sweating. But yeah, done them yesterday. So easy to use. So we'll talk about that later. The new pod. I don't know if I've fished with shown you the new pod that I won in a raffle. Jag pod. Custom little blue things on it, little blue wheels and stuff. Yeah, in fact I used it out in Crystal, but didn't blog it. I'm still so gutted I didn't blog it. It wasn't the best of sessions. It wasn't like a prolific French session where fish were coming out all over the place. Like I say, I smashed my PB and I got top rod with 6 fish. I think it was 6 or it might have even been 5. I was just in the right place. And it weren't until day 3. It was because it was redders. Day 3 or 4. So hot. And then it just started to rain. And I said to Lee at the time, we were both really depressed. I said, it's going to turn on now, mate. It's starting to rain. And about an hour later, I had a fish. That night I had another fish. And then I had sort of like one every day then, or every night. till we finished. And there was only the other anglers that were on there, you know, real top quality blokes. Jason came round, and he didn't have any luck at the Crystal Lake. He'd fished it before and had loads of fish, but this time he blanked. But he came round to me and he said, if I was you, he says, I'd put on a solid bag and punch it straight through them lilies. I had a big lily pad to the right of me. He said, just get it right in the middle, because I was fishing on the edge, right on the edge, and I could see the pads were moving, but the fish just weren't coming out. And he said to me, he said, just punch one straight in the middle of them lilies. He said, your line's strong enough. He says, fish locked up and just pull it out once if you get take. And lo and behold, I had a lovely, I think I probably had 2 fish from the middle of them lilies. I had one from right, my PB from right out front. I don't think I had any off the left hand rod. Not sure. So as you can see, nature has protected me against COVID by surrounding me in jelly, and I think that's what's happened. It's given me a nice coating of jelly, and also if I do become weak and faint, it's given me this lovely protective extra chin, just so that I can, you know, bounce off the floor. So thanks nature, you've been absolutely fantastic, looking after me. I don't think my heart's probably saying the same thing, but there we go. I'm just thinking now, I've got a drop off. I had a drop off system on that inline drop off, sorry, and that pop up down in the margin. It was quite a light lead. I'm just thinking maybe I'll change the way I'm fishing that and put a real heavy lead on. I've only got leads from France. They're like 3.5 ounce. Considering I'm literally fishing at a rod length out down in that margin, maybe a bit of overkill, I don't know. I'll have to change that hook anyway. It's been in the bloody Swan's beak, so it's probably blunted. Yeah, luckily 2 of my rods were still made up and had tubing on them. I don't know why they had tubing on them. Normally I use like the Nash Diffusion leader. Maybe it weren't allowed last time I fished, I don't know. Honestly can't remember. I'll show you the rig that's out there. Oh. Here we go, so tubing down to tail rubber, right, and then the tail of the lead goes in there, and the swivel pops into the lead at the front of it, and the line runs on the outside, and then when you get a fish it pulls out, the lead falls off. I've got some of this camo, quarter camo, £20, tied on to a little tiny size 10 Ronnie. There was a bit of putty here just before the swivel, the ring swivel, and it was just going to sit like that. If you can see that. Bit of bait floss that was holding on the pop-up, not round it but through it and then melted onto it. A tiny little pop-up. And that was the rig, very simple. But I mean, it is tiny, so tiny. That's what Lee was laughing at earlier. It's still bloody sharp. Still bloody sharp. So I might reuse that. Jippo. Right, okay, I'm going to have a tidy up. And when I recast, I'll show you the rigs that I'm using before I recast. And you can tell me how crap they are. Right, catch you in a bit.